Hey there, deep divers. Ready to uncover some surprising wisdom? We're diving into Steve Jobs' famous three stories, but we're going deeper than just the surface level today.
It's amazing how those stories told at a graduation still get to people, even if they aren't like tech geniuses.
Exactly. Like that first story, connecting the dots. It sounds kind of vague at first. Jobs talks about dropping out of college, not sure what to do, finding this calligraphy class.
And people hear that and they think, okay, so I should go learn fancy handwriting. But it's so much bigger than that.
Right. It's like he even says later, the calligraphy stuff, he didn't know would be useful until years later, designing the first Macs.
Exactly. It's like you can only connect the dots looking backwards. So in the moment, you got to trust your gut, follow what's interesting.
So it's not about knowing the outcome, it's trusting that there will be one,
Right.
eventually. Have you ever had that? Made a choice that seemed pointless, then, bam, it mattered later.
All the time. It's like those moments where you think, why am I even doing this? But then, boom, it all clicks into place. Jobs is saying, lean into those moments.
That's so true. Makes you think, what calligraphy classes am I ignoring right now just because I don't see the point
All
yet?
right, what are you putting off because you think, oh, that'll never be useful? What if that's your next big breakthrough?
Okay, I'm inspired to go sign up for, like, pottery or something now. But Jobs' second story, it's a tough one. Getting fired from Apple, ouch.
It's rough, right? But what he did with that, turned it into Pixar and all that, that's where the real lesson is.
Okay, so lemonade out of lemons, sure. But he says it's about love and loss. Where's the love when you're basically kicked out of your own company?
It's about loving the work, not just the success. He had to rediscover that. Like he was still passionate about creating amazing things, even without Apple.
So it's about that thing that drives you, that you
Yeah.
do even if you weren't getting paid, even if you fail the first time.
Exactly. He said it best. The only way to do great work is to love what you do.
Okay, that hit hard.
Hmm.
What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? That's the question Jobs is making us ask.
It's about finding that thing that lights you up that makes all the struggle worth it. And that's a powerful place to be.
It's wild, though, even knowing how it ends up, right? Like Jobs creates Pixar, he's fine. But that moment of being forced out, that's got to sting.
Yeah, that's where the resilience kicks in, not just bouncing back, but turning that into something even bigger.
Okay, so then we get to story number 3, and this is the one people get kind of morbid about sometimes.
So live each day like it's your last thing. Yeah, it's easy to misinterpret.
Right, like suddenly I should quit my job and go skydiving. I'm not sure that's the message here.
Not quite. What's interesting is Jobs said he started doing this when he was like 17. It wasn't about being reckless, it was about being honest.
Honest how?
Like he'd look in the mirror each morning and be like, if today was it, would I be cool with what I'm about to do? And too many no's meant something had to change.
So less about actually dying, more about, like, am I wasting my life right now?
Exactly. If you knew it was your last day, would you care about that work deadline? Or that annoying email? Probably not.
It's like a priority check-in, right? Like, am I spending my time on what matters?
No.
Deep.
Jobs used it to make decisions, not from fear, but from knowing time is limited.
Makes
Made him bolder.
Okay, so I'm getting less go wild and more, what's my legacy going to be if this is it? Big difference.
And that ties back to everything else, right? Trust, passion, being willing to risk it all because tomorrow's not guaranteed.
So we're not just aiming for a fun life, we're aiming for a meaningful one. Because, hey, none of us know how many todays we actually get.
Yeah.
It's like Jobs is there saying, hey, you, yeah, you.
Yeah.
Life's short, so don't waste it on stuff that bores you. Trust that gut feeling, go after what you love, and don't be afraid to stumble a little along the way.
Seriously. It's a good reminder that those themes we keep coming back to, that trust, the passion, taking risks, and yeah, even that mortality thing, they're all connected.
Totally. Like, you can't be brave and bold if you don't even trust your own ideas, right?
Exactly. And that trust comes from passion, from truly believing in what you're doing. That's what helps you push through when things get tough.
And knowing that our time is limited, that's almost like the ultimate motivator to just go for it?
Absolutely. So, out of everything we've talked about, what really stuck with you? What do you hope our listeners will take away from all this?
That's a good one. Well, the source material we've been looking at, it ends with that classic Jobs line, stay hungry, stay foolish. And honestly, I think that sums up pretty much everything we've been talking about.
It's so good, right? Though, out of context, it does sound a little, well, reckless maybe. Like, quit your job, go join the circus. Not exactly sound advice all the time.
Right. But with Jobs, we know there's got to be more to it than that.
There totally is. Stay hungry. It's that constant desire to learn, to grow, to get better at what you do, never settling for good enough.
Like that fire in your belly that keeps you going?
Yes. But then you've got stay foolish, which knowing jobs isn't about being, irresponsible. It's more about having the guts to ignore what everyone else is saying, to trust your own instincts, even if people think you're nuts.
Like, hello, taking that calligraphy class seemed kind of foolish at the time, but it led to something amazing.
Exactly. Stay foolish means holding on to that childlike curiosity, that willingness to experiment, to make mistakes, and to trust that it'll all work out in the end.
I love it. Hungry is the drive, and foolish is the permission slip to trust yourself and see where it leads.
Yeah.
What a way to end this deep dive.
Right. These stories, they really make you think, and the best part is the thinking doesn't stop when the episode ends.
Absolutely. So, deep divers, as we wrap up this exploration of Steve Jobs' wisdom, here's our challenge for you. What does stay hungry, stay foolish mean for you? What are you passionate about that you've been ignoring? What risks are you too scared to take? Think about it.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.